Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Gudrun from Gudrun Crochet, and today we're going to do a video of everything I have knit in the first 6 months of 2026. Okay, so it is currently July 3rd and I have a little bit of time to film a video, so I thought I would go over everything I have made so far this year. I'm going to go in chronological order based on what I cast on first, not what I finished first. Because there's some overlap with some of these projects, but we're gonna do casting on chronological order. Although some of these were started in 2025, but finished in 2026, so I'm still counting them. We're gonna immediately jump in with my first project. This is my Dagmar zipper sweater. This is a pattern by Petiteknit. I started this one in 2025, I think at the start of December, and it took me until the end of January to finish it. It is pretty much all over cabled sweater with a zipper on the inside. I was slightly off gauge, so I did size up a little bit. I'm normally a size small, but I made a size medium. I have a full knitting vlog of this sweater if you want to see that. I made one big modification, which is that I added a double knitted edge on the entire inside of the zipper. So in the pattern it only has it up till here, and then from here on out the zipper is exposed. I want it to be fully closed in. So that's what I did. And funnily enough, this is my only really woolly sweater that I made so far this year, which is crazy because that's normally my favorite project, and I'm really longing for another wool sweater, so that's definitely gonna be one of my next projects, I think. But yes, my Dagmar zipper sweater, she has come on holiday with me already to Marrakesh in February. Absolutely loved it. She's amazing. Love the yarn, love the pattern. Would really recommend this. On to my second project, which is my only other real sweater. This is the Clematis sweater Chunky by Maier, which is a mix between a cardigan and a sweater, I guess. So it has this diagonal button band going down the front, but you can't fully open it, so it is attached here. This is the chunky version of the pattern. I have made the regular version in the past, which I really loved. And then now I had some yarn from a project that I frogged, which I then used to make this. I made this holding a strand of Drops Paris together with a strand of lace weight merino from Lana Grossa, making this a pretty chunky but still breathable sweater to wear during the spring. And I got a lot of wear out of this during the spring now, but I feel like for summer it's a little bit too chunky. But I really like her. Although I did make some modifications to the sweater, changed the sleeves because they're normally balloon sleeves, I think, and I just made them tapered. And I slightly changed the fit of the underarms as well, because there were some differences with the regular clematis sweater. My next project I don't have anymore. I also don't know if I took any proper pictures, but if I do, I'll put them in here. But I made a baby blanket. It's the baby blanket Soft Clouds, I think. And I made it for a family member because they were expecting a baby. She has been born now. She has already used the blanket, so that's really sweet. I'm not gonna put in a picture of the baby, of course, just the blanket for privacy reasons. But yeah, I obviously don't have that anymore. But that was a really fun project to work on, and it's the first baby in the family. So that's also very exciting. Then we're gonna quickly go on to the next project, which is a pair of socks. These are the boyland socks, which are my first successful pair of colorwork socks. So in the past I had tried a sock with some colorwork just on the leg, some hearts I think they were, but it was a sock with 56 stitches and I did my floats too tight and I couldn't get it over my heel. So I ended up cutting out that section. And then they were just plain socks. But this is a pattern from the 52 weeks of socks book. And it has some color work on the foot, as well as 2 sections of color work on the leg, and also some bubbles. And she goes over my foot so easily. I do feel like they fit a little bit loose. I used the size with 60 stitches, which can be a little bit loose on my foot, like a tiny little bit, but I figured with color work it would be fine. But still, I feel like it's a little bit loose. So perfect house socks, but not as much for going out. But they're really, really pretty. I bought the green yarn for this, but the pink and the white yarn are leftovers from other sock projects. So it's a pretty low waist project, and wow, my lighting just completely disappeared. I'm sorry, that's Belgian sun for you. Anyways, one modification I did make is that I did the ribbing on 2mm needles instead of 2.5mm needles. And then the rest of the sock was done on 2.5. I think it would have been a bit better if I did the colorwork sections on 2.5 and the entire stockinette sections in between on 2. I think I would have made the sock a bit tighter in general, and then maybe it would have fit a little bit better. But yeah, still pretty proud of these, my first ever successful pair of colorwork socks. On to the next project. Here's my first of many summer knits. I don't know what got into me this year that I've made so many summer knits, but we just keep going. Anyways, this is my peacock tee, which is patterned by LEKNIT. I made this with some frogged yarn. So I had made like a kind of short sleeve cardigan a few years ago. Never wore it because the fit was horrible. I made it without a pattern, frogged it, and then I made this. She's slightly cropped because I actually did not have enough yarn for what the pattern recommended, but I still really love wearing it. And I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. And this went by so quickly. I think the yoke part took me like 3 days or something, and then the stockinette maybe like a week and a half or something. This is a really quick project, and I think I might make it again in the future. And I used Belle for this, so it's also a really affordable project if you're looking for an affordable summer knit, and I really, really love Belle. On to the next project. This was the opposite of the peacock tee. So the peacock tee went by really smoothly, really quickly, had cheap yarn. This one, not so much. So this is the Heartless top by Midsummerknits, which is a really cool design. It's a tank top with like a cutout heart in the middle. It's recommended to use 100% merino yarn, but I wanted to wear this to a concert at the end of May, and I knew that it could be pretty warm. So I wanted some cotton in there. So I used Lang Yarn's Venus, I think, which is a 50-50 blend of cotton and merino, and it's a chainette yarn. So it does have quite some stretch. Of course, the memory isn't as great as 100% merino, but I feel like it's still all right. But this is a bit pricier yarn. And I also have an entire ball left over that I cannot return, which feels like a waste of money, and I don't really know what to do with that yet. But anyways, I really struggled with this for the heart cutouts, because at first I didn't want any metal in there, just in terms of wearability and washability. But I tried Scooby-Doo thread, it did not work at all. So I did end up getting a metal thread that was enclosed in nylon. That was absolutely horrible to work with. I had to ask my sister to get it put into place because I just couldn't for the life of me figure it out. But yeah, it turned out fine. But again, that was pretty pricey thread, the nylon enclosed metal thread. So this ended up becoming a pretty pricey project. But it's okay because she's pretty cool. But I'm not sure how often I'm gonna wear this. We will have to see about that. My next project was fun to knit, not so much fun to finish. This is my Lake's Stripe Tee by Ozetta, which is my first ever Ozetta pattern. Really liked it. This is normally knit in a merino yarn. I knit it in a cotton yarn and slightly off gauge, so I have less stripes for the same amount of length, and she also fits a little bit wider. Love this yarn, love the t-shirt. She's definitely not for 30-degree weather because it's a pretty heavy t-shirt, but she's perfect for spring days. The thing I did not like about this was weaving in the ends. because it has a lot of color changes in there, and it's 100% cotton, and I did not want it to get undone. So I ended up having to split every single thread and then sew in those individual threads. So it's twice the amount of ends to sew in, which was an absolute nightmare. And I think it took me like the same amount of time to sew in the ends as it did to knit this t-shirt. So that's very fun. Would not do that again, probably. I'm staying away from 100% cotton yarn for now. But I do really like the finished objects. My next cast on is still a whip. I did not finish her yet because it's something that I'm just working on the side, which is an Italian bandana by an Italian knitter, I think, on Ravelry, which is a free pattern. It's a pretty basic bandana, which is supposed to be knit on 5mm needles, but I'm knitting it on 3mm needles, just because I want to use up this yarn that I have left over from a project from last year. And I'm making it a bit longer to fully wrap it around my head. And this is what she's looking like right now. I haven't made much progress on this in the last couple of weeks, just because I didn't really feel like it. It's pretty boring. At this point, the rows are getting quite long. But yeah, this is something that I'm just bringing with me when I want to have a project with me, but I don't have a lot of space. This is really, really tiny, so it's perfect for that. So I can keep my hands busy when needed. Then onto my last finished object of this half year, which is my butterfly blouse. I made a video about this full knitting vlog, so you can check that out if you want. I made this without a pattern, so I freehanded this. I am trying to write up a kind of a pattern, just only for my size. So you can kind of use that as a guide. If you're similar to me in size, you can just follow that. If not, you can try and adapt it from that. I'm not gonna ask any money from it, don't worry. That wouldn't be ethical. But it's also made with drops Belle, so it's for the summer, and it has this lace motif that I personally think looks like a butterfly, hence the name, the butterfly blouse. So it has that around the neckline and then also down the sleeves and on the bottom of the blouse as well. I really like this. I think it's a good layer for the summer when it's getting a bit cool in the evening and you want some long sleeves, but you don't want anything woolly because that's gonna be too warm. Then I think she's great. I took her on vacation with me to Rotterdam for a few days. It wasn't cold enough to wear it during the day, but we did have an evacuation of the building because the fire alarm went off. And this was the only sweater I had with me, so she was able to keep me warm in the middle of the night while we were just standing outside, which was a bummer, but I got some use out of her. Then my last cast on is still a whip. I haven't finished her yet. I'm gonna see what I do with the yarn. Put it in my pocket. This is the Mew top by Gill, I don't know, which is a top with a very tight ribbing portion on the body, and then from the start of the bust it goes a bit wider and has like, it's supposed to have like a boat neck. I slightly changed the neckline. I'm not entirely sure yet if I love this or not. I might go back and change how that looks, but now I'm just working on the back portion. It's black yarn, so it's really difficult to see. But once that back is finished, I can sew the front and the back together and see if I like it or not. It's a short sleeve top, but it's not really going to be a summer piece, I'm afraid. I am using BC Garn Bio Balance, which is a cotton and wool blend, and then Lana Grossa Soffio, which is kind of like a mohair alternative, but it has cotton, merino, and cashmere. I really like that yarn. It's really soft, but it's definitely going to be too hot to wear on a warm day. But I think on a spring day where you're like not sure if you can wear short sleeves yet or not, I think this will be pretty good to still have short sleeves but have some warmth. And I'm hoping it will look pretty chic, but we will have to see once she's completely finished. But yes, I have been working on this for quite a few weeks now. Really thought it would go a bit quicker, but I did not bring this on holiday with me, so that's also a few days that I have missed. But she will get finished somewhere in the next few weeks, probably. And yeah, just hoping I can figure out what to do with the neckline, because I'm not sure that this is gonna work out. Anyways, that is everything I've made so far in 2026. I'm really surprised at how much plant fibers I have used. There's only two projects that don't contain any plant fibers, so that's really crazy because I'm usually a really woolly knitter. I must say, I really crave wool at the moment. I really want some wool sweaters to make and wear, but it's not the weather for that at this time, sadly. But one of my next projects will probably be with wool. I'm not going to be buying yarn for a while though. I'm going to be using some of my stash, see what I can do with that. Maybe frog something that I don't wear and remake it. I'm going to be going on holiday at the end of July, so we will see. Maybe I buy some yarn on holiday. That would be quite fun. But yeah, I'm impressed at how many pieces I have made actually. I don't know how much it is. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 finished items and 2 whips. Okay, granted that the 2 sweaters, so the Dagmar sweater and the clematis sweater, were started in 2025. But for the clematis sweater in 2025, I only finished the back portion, so that's not that much. That's actually crazy. Now, one reminder though, I am a student. I'm not studying full-time. I'm not taking up all of my credits this year because of some health issues that I had. So I am not a full-time worker or student, and I knit a lot. Like watching TV and stuff, I'm always knitting. I think I also knit a bit too much. I'm a real procrastinator sometimes, so when I should be working for school, I end up knitting. Do not recommend. My grades ended up fine, but I did get stressed out a few times during the semester because of my procrastination. So just to know, if you finished a lot less in these first 6 months, that's normal. This is not normal. Also 7 items, most of those were summer knits, so with either no sleeves or short sleeves or a pair of socks. That's also not that much work. So if you're someone that always knits sweaters, it's gonna take a longer time. And as you can see, I'm a size small. My projects are not gonna take as much time as if I would be a size extra large, for example. So if you're a bigger size than me and you're finishing less, that's perfectly normal. I don't think we should be striving to finish a gazillion amount of projects. I have seen some on TikTok that had like 20 finished objects in these first 6 months, and that's absolutely crazy. I would never be able to do that. But if you only finished like 2 projects or something, amazing, great. Knitting is to be enjoyed. We shouldn't be mass consuming our fibers and our projects and finishing something every week. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months of this year in terms of knitting, hoping to incorporate some more wool into my knitting because my hands are really craving some wool. And then I'm really wondering what you guys are working on, how many projects you've finished so far. And then I want to ask you to maybe consider liking and subscribing. That would really help me. And happy knitting, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!